Hello my friends, in this step-by-step YouTube video tutorial, we are going to study basic operations performed on continuous time signals. Specifically, we focus on continuous time signal addition, continuous time signal subtraction, and continuous time signal multiplication. Let's get started. When it comes to the outline parts, we will focus on signal addition, subtraction, and multiplication. After completion of this YouTube video tutorial, the learner knows about how to represent continuous time signals graphically and how to represent continuous time signal mathematically, and simulation of signal addition, signal subtraction, and signal multiplication. Now let's see what a continuous time signal means. A continuous time signals that vary continuously over time and can take on any value within a certain range. In short, a continuous time signal is continuous both in amplitude and time. A continuous time signal can take any value within a certain range, and a continuous time signal can be represented mathematically using certain continuous function. Now let's see the application area of continuous time signals. The application areas of continuous time signals are audio signal processing, such as filtering and equalization, image processing, such as edge detection and image enhancement, control system, in control system, such as temperature control and motor speed control, and in communication systems, in modulation and demodulation. I get this information from this website. Fine. Now let's generate two signals, two continuous time signals, x1 of t and x2 of t, which are represented by the following mathematical equation. Step 1, generate the input signal x1 of t. Step 2, generate the input signal x2 of t. So when we are representing x1 of t and x2 of t in table form, in the time interval between -2 and -1, x1 of t is 0 and x2 of t is 1. Consider the following interval. When t lies between -1 and 0, x1 of t equals -t minus 1 and x2 of t equals -1. When t lies between 0 and 1, x1 of t equals t and x2 of t equals t minus 1. When t lies is between 1 and 2, x1 of t is 1 and x2 of t is 1. When the time interval is between 2 and 3, x1 of t is -t plus 3 and x2 of t is 0. So when we are plotting these things using MATLAB, x1 of t looks like this one and x2 of t looks like this one. Now let's go to signal addition. Let x1 of t and x2 of t be two continuous time signals. The sum of x1 of t and x2 of t can be obtained by adding their amplitudes at every instant of time. Now let's see. We have said that between -2 and -1, x1 of t is 0 and x2 of t is 1. So their sum becomes 1. Now when we are considering the time interval between -1 and 0, x1 of t is -t minus 1 and x2 of t is -1. Their sum becomes -t minus 2. Now consider the next interval when the time lies between 0 and 1. Now x1 of t equals t and x2 of t equals t minus 1. Their sum becomes 2t minus 1. In the interval between 1 and 2, x1 of t equals 1 and x2 of t equals 1. Their sum becomes 2. In the interval between 2 and 3, x1 of t equals -t plus 3 and x2 of t equals 0. And their sum becomes -t plus 3. When we are plotting this one using MATLAB, you'll get such type of waveform. Now let's go to signal subtraction. So let x1 of t and x2 of t be two continuous time signals. The difference between x1 of t and x2 of t can be obtained by subtracting x2 of t from x1 of t at every instant of time. So here x1 of t is 0 and x2 of t is 1, the difference is -1. And here x1 of t equals -t minus 1 and x2 of t is -1, their difference becomes -t. x1 of t is t and t minus 1, their difference becomes 1. And here x1 of t is 1, x2 of t is 1, the difference becomes 0. And x1 of t equals -t plus 3, x2 of t is 0, and their difference becomes -t plus 3. Now when we are plotting x1 of t minus x2 of t, we'll get a type of waveform. And the next operation is continuous time signal multiplication. In the interval between -2 and -1, x1 of t is 0 and x2 of t is 1. Their product becomes 0. The interval between -1 and 0, x1 of t is -t minus 1, x2 of t is -1. So their product becomes t plus 1. When we come to the next interval, x1 of t is t and x2 of t is t minus 1. Their product becomes t squared minus t. Now in this range, x1 of t is 1, x2 of t is 1. Their product becomes 1. And in this range, x1 of t is -t plus 3, x2 of t is 0. Their product becomes 0.